we get thrown into this business. But when you get into the industry, you're like, this is not at all what I thought it was. It's a lot more business than music. Oh,
The admin work behind all of this, like I never would have thought. I feel like it's 80%,
for sure. Yeah.
even 30% of writing music, but then the 70% is literally going in the admin work because you have to think of the titles. You can't just name a title. You've got to put the time code in there because it's getting handed over to different departments. So when your piece of cue gets handed over to a different department, it's got to have where it lives on that frame, on the picture, right? To the subframe, right? And so your label has to be a mile long of a working title just so somebody understands where to put your piece of music in. That's where I talk about growth. Getting to know these kind of things, you have to take accountability where you are and look up and killing those relationships and thinking, because like I always tell people, you really start growth when you let go of your ego, especially in the visual media side.
100%.
Dude, it's different in the production side. Like me working with Tim and being in the room with a lot of greats, like amazing producers and names. But then I go into the visual media side and it's a complete different world, man. It's like nobody cares about
Two different worlds.
who you've been in the room with doesn't matter. It's just you can deliver what's needed to picture. And it's a humbling experience, man. On that thing, relationships. Relationships is something, again, that I define relationships as trust repeated over and over again. It grows and it's just something that continues to compound, man. Personally, in your career, I know where you've been, but I don't know a lot of it like on your side. Take us back a little bit, how you really started to stand out.
Moving to California in 2009 and just going to, I was being out at events if you can publicly, like physically be there, because you never know what opportunities arise from these things. So I was at Game Developers Conference. I met Tim Nguyen. I was there for gaming, but he worked with Christopher Lannertz and we hit it off. He's like, you should come down to El Segundo. We're building the studio. And I come down there, meet Chris Lannertz, but he's done amazing stuff, currently The Boys, and tons of movies like Baywatch and all 10 story movies, the ride along movies, the Horrible Boss. There's so many. Just meeting Tim, then meeting Chris, and just hanging out at the studio. That relationship led to me working for Chris for about 6 years, 7 years. And that's where I really cut my teeth on everything and really learned the industry. You learn this stuff at school, but there in the rooms I was writing, doing score programming, that turning into writing cues and doing additional music and being at the session. So like he would invite you sometimes to the session. You're there with the director, the producer at Fox, at Warner Brothers, and learning how everybody interacts in the room and how the etiquette is and the process and all that kind of thing. Hey, Chris, I need help on this thing from another guy. I recommend Josh. And then from this guy, it just like, it gets this whole like connection tree that opened a lot of doors to me. And I'm extremely grateful for that. But it's just being genuine person. And if your talent's there to back it up, obviously you have to do the work. But if you have great work, it's like I said before, it's cool, but I don't know if I can keep working with this person. This is one and done for me. It starts with just being authentic, being genuine. And that was a big catalyst. Right, just starting out, I met Hummy Man. He did Robin Hood Men in Tights and all these stuff. Mel Brooks in the '90s, his composer, and he has a school up there in Washington. I grew up in the Seattle area, but just going to meet him. I was an actor once upon a time, and I was in a commercial. Met somebody. They were talking to me about scoring. You should meet Hummy. I go meet Hummy. Give him my demo. I was super ambitious. I'm like, yeah, I'm sending demos. This is like 2000. So I'm mailing my demos to Universal, Lakersham Boulevard. No one's hearing it. I'm 20 years old. And he listens to it. I hear a lot of good ideas and some potential, but I would stop sending your demos right now. Just a huge punch to your pride. But that was the best thing I could ever hear. I learned under him. I studied under him, worked for him, and that opened up doors. So you never know who you're going to meet. And again, it's just being consistent with just being you and being trustworthy with being on time, being dependable, delivering and everything, but also having good character, integrity, being a good person.
How does one go about getting placements? And what I want to say before you guys even respond is, have you listened to the last 20 minutes of what they're talking about? Because it's all those things. It's all those things. Being a good person. And the last thing he even said just now Joshua said, and if your music's good, that's good too. If you guys are missing part of this, we do in a couple of days, I'll edit this and put it up in the vault so you can go back and reference things. And like you said, the 80% is the business. And I know that would probably not be a very fun hour-long live stream, but we might want to think about talking about the admin work. Thank you for bringing it up. But it's always a guy that they recommend for scoring work. It's a boys club. What do you want to say to that?
There's some truth, but I think there's a big shift, I think, happening in the industry. One of my friends, Dara Taylor, she worked with Chris even closer, and she's gone to do amazing things if you look her up. She recently did Ironheart, the Iron Man series for Disney, and many more. And she's in demand. Composer Amanda Jones, she just did the Murder Robot, I think it is, show for Apple. So I think she does some Adventure Time. She does a bunch of different stuff. What's the female composer for Joker? Hildur, I think. She is amazing. So you're seeing that open up more. There are some things that I would say that feel exclusive all across the board in composers, actors, and writers and all that kind of thing, but there's definitely some growth in that area. And these amazing female composers, it's awesome that they're getting the platform, and they're amazing. It's opening up more doors. And it all goes back to loop around to trust and relationship. You break that ceiling and you'll see more women. Give them the opportunity, because there hasn't been as much. And that even goes for composers of color for that matter too.
Yeah, there's always going to be some challenge.
There's always going to be
I
something.
mean, I don't want you to get discouraged because I've heard your music and it's really good. So please don't give up. But she said she might give up on that sector, but I encourage you to not do that. I encourage you to keep reaching out to Gildy. We have Dave Rogers tomorrow night, another sync licensing guy. So we have all these resources for you. So keep reaching out to these two guys. But he's literally throwing names at you guys. Like, I'm writing it all down. I don't know about y'all. Like, I'm like, okay, Dara Taylor, Amanda Joe, I'm writing them all down because I'm going to look up these ladies and see if we have anything in common. Hey, do you want to be my friend? That's how relationships are made in this business, and you have to cultivate them. We said that at the very beginning. So don't give up. I know I always say it is a man's world out there. It still is, especially in the music industry. One woman at a time, stand up and say, you know what? My music is good. I'm relatable. I'm consistent.